beautiful evening. We're just so thankful that it's summer and that we've made it through the school year. We have a great evening. It should be fairly quick, but a great evening with some pretty cool celebrations in store. If everyone would just rise, we will say the pledge.
Ms. Cook, Ruben, he said he'll lead. Ruben will lead it for us.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Ruben? Sorry, that was not on my nose.
We changed it late when we found out Ruben was coming.
Come on right there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's the same.
Dr. Cleveland, we need to add an agenda item tonight, if you don't mind, please.
Yes, sir.
We need to add the election of the school board officers for the upcoming years. And with that being said, I would like to make a motion that we continue with our current set of officers, Michelle Cook as president, Randy Hutchinson as vice president, and Nick Emerson as secretary and treasurer. I would have that as an official motion to continue the way we are set up for officers for next year.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Owenby, a second from Mrs. Creek to accept the officers as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, sir.
You've had the agenda for a while. I know we just made the addition to it. Are there any other additions?
Make a motion to approve the agenda with the added item.
A motion by Mr. Hutchinson, a second by Mr. Bell to approve the agenda with the addition as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We have the consent agenda. Is there a motion concerning the consent agenda?
I'll motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Bell, a second by Mr. Hutchinson to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Dr. Cleveland?
Right. It's going to be the fun part of the evening, Ms. Cook. We've had some really great spring sports accomplishments this year, and we have a collection of some folks in the room tonight who were part of that spring sport honors. Of course, we know we have the school, Springdale High School was the state champions in soccer. They're not able to be here. We want to be able to recognize them next month, if that's okay, or at least in August, when Coach Beeler is able to be in town with his team. So that was a great honor for them. We're proud of them. We also have HAR-BER High School, state runner-up in baseball. I'd like to ask Coach Helmkamp if he'd like to come to the front, bring anybody you'd like to come, or bring in front of you, even the team.
Bring them all.
Coach Ebar.
Hey, first I'd like to thank you, Dr. Cleveland. A lot of people don't know this, but allowing us to play teams out of state. There were some districts that went against that, but we felt like that really helped us. We'd like to thank Ms. Cook. I know I saw you out there with Coach Stellick, and just for the whole COVID procedures and allowing us to play. We certainly know what last year was like, and so we feel blessed just standing here because we got to have a season. Of course, we'd like to thank Dr. Greet for his support and everything. I mean, he's awesome. He's an awesome man, and he's great to work for. But these guys right here, they are hard workers. They worked hard all season. And in the off season, we did something different this year than we haven't done in most. We started working out at 6 a.m. 3 days a week, and they took it on. If they didn't like it, they didn't show it. But we really feel like it paid off, and Coach Thompson at HAR-BER volunteered his time to do it because I don't know much about the weight room. So we were blessed. We're very thankful for the people we have, our coaching staff, Coach Fields, Coach Ebar, Coach Pruitt. Coach Upton's not able to be here. He's at football. But, 3 of these 5 volunteer. I mean, they sacrifice a lot. It's 4 out of the 7 nights they don't probably see their kids because we got 4 clubs. So, there's games going. So, very blessed to have them. I mean, they're foxhole type people. I mean, they're that kind. You trust them, and you know what you're getting, and they do a great job. And we wouldn't be here. We brought Lauren here tonight. She does a lot. Our trainer. She's in the back. She didn't want to come down here with us, but she does a lot for the recovery of our guys and treats them like family and comes up after hours to make sure our guys are prepared. Up here tonight, we've got Tyler Ridley. He's a sophomore for us. Caleb Keller, he's going to be a junior. I guess I should go into that. Ross Felder, he'll be a sophomore. Austin Jones, he'll be a junior. Walker Emmel, he just graduated. He's a senior. He's going to UCA to play baseball. Caden Ross, right in front of him, he'll be a senior. Kate Ratcliffe with the red hair in the back, he'll be a senior. Henry Acuff, and he'll be a junior. And Ashton Greenlee will be a senior. We had 6 or 7 that had games tonight. Our seniors are playing in that college league, and then 5 or 6 that couldn't make it. They're out of town. But, thing that I said at our Booster Club banquet that I think kind of defines these guys, Coach Ebar lost his oldest son, and we went to a memorial that day and played Rockhurst that night or that afternoon. And one of the Rockhurst parents called Dr. Greep and just said that they were moved by how our players conducted themselves, the class they showed, the character, and offered to buy us a tree and put it out there. Multiple times when we went out of town, I can't tell you how many opposing coaches said, your team has such class, they play the game the right way. And, I mean, it's truly a blessing to be with these guys. They never were defined by 1 inning or 1 out. They fought for 21 outs, and they gave us a chance. When a lot of teams, baseball's so mental, they would have broke. These guys didn't break, and I think that'll pay off in life. And I'm just proud and humbled to be standing with them. So thank you for having us. Thank you for honoring us, and we greatly appreciate it.
Great job. I know it takes a lot of effort to come to a school board meeting, especially when it's summer. So, Coach Helmkamp, thank you so much. And thanks for gathering the guys up. I know you have a special team. You'll always remember this team. So, thank you. Ms. Cook, I'd like to introduce you to somebody. He's my neighbor, and I mention him all the time because I'm so proud of him. I feel like he's part of mine, and I know Ruben is a great young man and going to have an opportunity to be a great adult. So, Ruben, if you'd like to come to the front. Come to the front. Don't forget to introduce your mother.
Hello, I'm Ruben. That's my mom back there.
There you go.
Yeah. I had a good track season, and I guess that's why Dr. Cleveland invited me today. So pretty honored to be here, and it's good to see you guys.
Well, you didn't get to come to graduation because you were doing something that day. Talk to us about what you were doing.
I went down to the Meet of Champions in Searcy, Arkansas. Set the state record in the 1600, 409. It's 20-year state record, so felt pretty good to go down there. Had to miss graduation, but I'd say it was worth it.
I'd say so, yeah.
Did you break it again?
I did. So this past weekend, I went and ran the mile at a track meet in Nashville, Tennessee, and I set the all-time Arkansas all-time mile record. So it feels pretty good, but I'll continue my season as well. I'm going to Alabama this next weekend and then Seattle later in July to be running a few more meets, hopefully get some new PRs.
Had an okay year, yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Well, it's been fun to watch you, and just really excited about your future, and just very proud of you. very cool to see when every time you break a record.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
What are your plans? What are you gonna do?
I'm going to the University of Arkansas next fall. I'll be running cross country and track, and then doing academics as well. So excited about that. Not going far, but it's a great program. So
It's very
excited.
What are you gonna study?
I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna get into the probably business area and go from there. Try to figure something out.
You'd be a great teacher and a track coach. That's my hope.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. I'd like to just say a little something about Ruben. His dad, Ruben, is not able to be here tonight. I haven't talked to him earlier. His track coach passed away, Coach McDonald, so he's there with the family. But he came over. You don't even know this, Ruben. One day, and I was out working in the yard. And he was telling me about the knee, about you breaking the mile. You were able to do that. You know, when your kids do something really well, you're proud. But I don't know that I've seen anybody more proud than him that day. So you may not always see it, but your parents are unbelievable. You know, they raised all of you, all the girls, and you, the only boy, and you have a great family. And we're proud that they chose Springdale. They chose HAR-BER to allow you to go to school there. And we're proud of you, and we do have pressure on you because we want you to do really well. We know that you will. We look forward to seeing your path. Your older sisters have done really well. Gabby's going to do great, and we know you will too. So I just wanted to tell you thank you for allowing me to watch you grow up.
Yeah.
And let me make all those crazy wild names I had for you.
Yes, I'm thankful for my parents, but I'm thankful for my coaches as well. Coach Clinton and Coach Hall back there put up with me and my teammates all season, past few seasons, and it's been a good ride.
They're pretty good too.
Yeah.
Congratulations, and
Thank
we
you.
look forward to watching you.
Yep.
Thanks, Ruben. They when our students come, it's the highlight. I know it is for you all, but it certainly is for me as well. Ms. Cook, I'd like to move into another area, if that's okay. As you know, we've had some changes in our administrators. We have some of them are here tonight, I believe. We have a gentleman who we've hired to take over George Junior High. His name is Dr. Jeff Flanagan. I sent the information out to you previously. Tonight, he's done the right thing. He still lives in Jonesboro. He's been there for 7 years as the principal for the STEM Academy in their Wall Academies in Jonesboro. So he's done that, but he has a son playing a basketball game tonight, and I said, you need to stay and do that. Don't drive 8.5 hours back and forth just to be here. There'll be plenty of time for him to be here. Next, we have Miss Ladina Eads. Everyone knows Miss Ladina. I'd like for her to come to the front if that's okay. Miss Ladina is taking on a new role as Director of Learner Support. I'd like for her to talk to you a little bit about what that role means and what her future looks like here.
Okay, so this is new for me and for Springdale. We are going to put all special services under one umbrella. We will be GT 504 and special ed. And I am super excited. When I started as an administrator, as an assistant principal, they say, oh good, she's new, let's give her special ed. And then I had the opportunity to move to Springdale High specifically to be the designee for special ed. And for 11 years, that was my heart. That's what I did. And I really enjoy special services. And so I am excited to take on this new role to help the district move forward with our special services. I know that being at Central and at Springdale High, we had families move here because we offered really good services for our children. And we tapped our community to make like CEUs, the commonalities, and get those people in our buildings that we know we have. And so I'm really excited to do that now on a different level and to get back to that. I'm sad to leave George, but we do have someone new coming in who we think will be great. So I'm just really excited for the opportunity that Dr. Cleveland and Ms. Fink and Ms. Tischer, Dr. Smith gave me for this. So just looking forward to it.
I think you'll do an amazing job. We're excited about it.
Hope so. They just get my building together, Jeremy. my building over here. Yes.
Would you
Yes.
like to introduce Ms. Plumley?
Yes, and so helping me with this will be Ms. Stacy Plumley. So she's going to come up. She will be an assistant with us. She will be taking on more of the GT role, but will also help with the special ed. So
Hello. I am honored to be taking this position, and as Ladina was saying, that I get to work with students who have all kinds of special needs, and those special needs could be students who might be receiving some sort of special education services, our 504 students, and this has been a love that I've been doing for the past 15 years over at Burness Young Elementary, but also with the gifted students as well. And we, when you think of that wonderful bell curve, we get to have the top 10%, the 10% that we really need to make sure that we're giving the right supports to, and they're getting everything that they need to be successful. And we always have those students who could be twice exceptional as well, and we just need to make sure that we're finding these students and no matter what, and we're giving them everything that they need to reach their fullest potential. And that's going to be our job, and we are so looking forward to the opportunity. So, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You did a great job. It's interesting, we had Dr. Sherry Bales, who was a special ed LEA, retire. And we had Tim Smithy go to another district as GT. So those are the positions, and we've just reworked those. So I know you might have had a question of, were they added positions? They're not. We've just rearranged how we're doing those. All of you know Mr. Joel Lookadoo. Joel Lookadoo is the state teacher of the year, and in our mind should have been the national teacher of the year. He's off filming the project still. He's still working for the ADE until July the 1st. But we wanted to formally announce him tonight as the assistant principal for Lakeside Junior High. I know Dr. Shepard is excited to have him, and I know you all know him and look forward to his work too. We have Mr. TJ Weiss. Mr. TJ, would you come up, please? Dr. Griepe, you're welcome to come with him if you like. Mr. Weiss has been a long time assistant over at Central Junior High, and I know Todd Lofton is very sad to see him go, but thrilled to see him be able to go on to elevate to Har-BER High School. TJ's been recommended as the new assistant at Har-BER High School.
So what a great city to work in. What a great community and district. Grew up here and spent the last 15 years professionally growing here, and it's because of your leadership that people want to come to Springdale. So I feel very grateful to the administrative team, Dr. Cleveland, Dr. Smith, Ms. Tischer, and the rest of the team, and also Ms. Cook and the school board. We felt it all year long that you supported us, that you are our advocates, and we really appreciate that. I know I appreciate it. You can feel it. So I wanted to thank you guys for that. Working with Dr. Griepe again, I'm incredibly excited, even though I don't really show it. I am. It's a great opportunity. You saw the athletes here, the other great programs, all the great CT programs. So I'm looking to help build the strong foundation, help fulfill the district's vision and Dr. Griepe's vision. So very blessed and excited to be in this role and to continue to serve.
Excited.
Good job.
Good addition.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Ms. Cook, I'd like to introduce Mr. Damon Donnell. He has a very special presentation this evening. I'm going to grab a plaque. Tonight, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Miss Lindsay Leeper, the 2021 Springdale School District Social Worker of the Year. Ms. Leeper currently serves students and families at Elmdale Elementary while also serving the district's families in transition as the district's families in transition liaison. Ms. Leeper is a true champion for students, parents, staff, and the community, and she greatly embodies the district's social worker vision of connecting, advocating, resolving, and empowering.
I find it very special when other people say things about people that really bring it home. Miss Katie Kilpatrick, the counselor at Elmdale Elementary, said it best. It is incredible to watch Lindsay work. She always handles every task with professionalism, warmth, and transparency. I have seen how she makes others feel heard and worthy. She is always ready to go out of her way to do what is in the best interest of students and pays great attention to detail in everything she does. The students at Elmdale and all of Springdale are so fortunate to have her on their side, and I am fortunate to have her as my teammate. Thank you, Ms. Leeper, for all that you do for Springdale Public Schools, and congratulations for being named Springdale Public Schools Social Worker of the Year.
I do want to say thank you to the social work team, the board. Yeah, I'm short. To the social work team, the board, Dr. Cleveland, and Mr. Donnell, of course, for all of your support for the social work program that lets people like me serve the families of Springdale. So thank you.
Next, I wanted to give the board an update on student services and where one of our focuses is removing barriers to students' academic and social success. At the Treehouse Pantry, we're moving forward with this focus through community partnerships with Tyson Foods, Northwest Arkansas Food Bank, UAMS, and Samaritan Feet, and many more. Dr. Lyons, the district's grants coordinator, is currently working on a healthy food grant through Walmart, which will provide healthy food choices to our diverse community, as well as 2 liaison positions that will serve to outreach and to deliver food to our community. Our team of social workers, counselors, and nurses are so excited about the new opportunities the Treehouse Pantry will provide our students and families with their basic needs, and we are tentatively scheduled to open the Treehouse Pantry sometime in August. We are also very proud of opening our 5th school-based health clinic at Rollins Elementary through our district partnership with Mercy Health. Over the last 10 years, we've enrolled over 11,000 students at our 4 school-based health centers at Jones, George, Parson Hills, and Elmdale through our partnerships with Community Clinic and Ozark Guidance. This year, we'll provide over 9,500 medical and mental health services through our school-based health clinics. Thank you, Mr. Kevin Conkin, Director of Transportation, for making transportation possible for students and families who have medical needs. We have a lot of families in our community that do not have the transportation resources, and I want to say thank you to Dr. Cleveland for making those community clinic vans available, and countless eyeglasses, countless medical appointments, countless specialty appointments have been provided through those vans, and I want to say thank you to Kevin and Dr. Cleveland for that. It's a big deal. Additionally, we've started screening the dental needs of students at Parson Hills and have plans to expand these services in the future. These dental screenings are also made possible by our partnerships with Community Clinic. I'd also like to give a special thanks to Dr. Cleveland for his overall vision of the Treehouse Pantry. I remember the first conversation we had about this Treehouse Pantry, and I was trying to follow this and see how it would fit in with school, but I get it. It's a very special place for our students and families. And as well as Ms. Miller and Ms. Sarah Jones, who are sitting right here, for their leadership as well. We are all aware of the gravity of this work because we know if a child is not mentally and physically, socially, and emotionally healthy, they certainly cannot attend to the higher order brain functions necessary for learning. We absolutely know that. I'm a great example of that as well, growing up in poverty. Again, community partnerships equal community success, vision, teamwork, service to others. All this works together to remove those barriers to students' academic and social success. Thank you, guys. Any questions? I'm excited about it. Can you tell? Have a great one. Thank you.
Even today, our Treehouse Pantry was talked about. Ms. Cook and I, along with Mr. Jones, went to George Park. Tyson gave away about $200,000 worth of protein. So we were there along with Feed the Children.
Feed Across America.
Yes, Feed Across America and Feed the Children. So it was great. Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all. Glad you're here. So that's a great opportunity. We have great partnerships in Springdale.
It was really neat to see. Only the group that's going, it was going to 10 cities, and we were the first city.
They're hoping to have a national one. Okay. Next item on the agenda is the board work session. Thank you all for your flexibility. I know I've taken, Coach Hall, you all right? Taking your lead in regard to the work session. You know, we've had typically a work session here, hosted here, and it's taken your day. And we know that. We know anytime that we take you away from your family, especially in the evening or whatever, then there are people that they're suffering along with you, for lack of a better word, in all the service that you're doing. So Ms. Cook had an idea at some point. She and I visited about revisiting the mission and vision, maybe how did we do that? And so our team got together and thought about what could we do if we did it off-site? Well, we thought about could we go as a retreat? I know it's been COVID and it'd be really good to be focused, and we thought a baby step might be to meet at the country club out there in one of the rooms. It's $50 for a rental, and Ms. Tischer's a member and has that. We had gentleman in the community said, hey, we'll buy your food and all of that. And so we thought, well, this would be a good opportunity to meet. And then after we go through our mission and vision and do our strengths finder, which there's 19 pages in the little book that you'll have some homework to do that we can discuss in a minute, but then have a meal with our families, because our families, they're so important to us. And I know that they support you in all that you do as a board member. So we have the agenda for you to review. And if you have any amendments, we're happy to do that. We were thinking, start at about 12:30, provide a set of 1 or so, do our Strengths Finder effort, and that is a book here, Strengths Finder from Gallup. It's 19 pages. It's not long reading. It's pretty good. There's a little, you got to take it first. There's a quiz in the back of the book that's red. It's a perforated area. You cut that, you look at your number, and you log on, and you do your Strengths Finder, answering some questions. I know you're looking at me, Randy, like this isn't going to be very fun. It really is going to be fun.
I won't be there, so.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
That's why he's looking at you.
Yeah. We tried to get it on a Monday instead of a Tuesday.
Just all right. Next time.
But there is a form, a one-pager that gives some directions and provides some set for that. So I know that I believe the feedback I received is a good idea. We want to try this. It's maybe an opportunity to grow and connect. And then we'll go over.
Did you mention this when you asked about feedback first, or did this come after we said it was a good idea?
You can give feedback anytime.
Oh, okay. And there's not really many pictures in this book either.
Okay, well, we can ace that if you decide to, but I think it's going to be a good thing. We're going to go through it as a team before we go, and it's really good to do the homework. It'll be fun. So we're hoping that the agenda will be okay for you, and I think it is a really good idea to look at our mission and our vision and reestablish what we are all about as we go forward post-COVID. So,
It's been at least 10 years since we did the. Sounds good.
you okay? All right, very good. All right. If you have any suggestions or any feedback, happy to alter that. It's your agenda, so however you want to arrange it. Mr. Jones? I'll provide a little set. I know when you see SPS branding plan, you think, okay, what is that? And there was no link for that. Mr. Jones and I have been talking all year about who are we, especially through COVID. What have we learned about ourselves? What opportunities have we found, and what areas of growth do we need? And we found that our communication department, although we are really doing much better than we have in the past, multiple languages, speed, authenticity, we have this need that we have heard from our community patrons about who are you? And if people want to move into the district, what's out there for us to find out at the click of a mouse?
Thank you, Dr. Cleveland, and thank you, school board. This is a great honor. Just on a personal side note, for me, being in Springdale from the 70s, to be able to sit in a chair right now with really good vision from you and good vision and leadership from Dr. Cleveland, to be able to have this opportunity to take our story going forward. So the school district's communications office is working on a branding plan to elevate the awareness and the presence in the region and the state of the excellence that's happening in Springdale schools on a daily basis. We have an intentional plan that will highlight our outstanding students, our exceptional faculty, our award-winning programs, while maintaining that personalized community feel. Simply put, we're big enough to make a big impact, but we're still small enough to know who you are. We know your name, we know who you are, we know your family. It's a concept of work, play, live, and learn. It's highlighted in our community school concept. As you know, we have programs that provide opportunities for students to achieve on amazing levels. I mean, in academics, we have students that have gone to MIT and to Brown and the United States military. I mean, in athletics, we have, just this year, we had 5 students from Springdale that are part of the Razorback cheerleading squad. And you go down the line, you talk about fine arts and career and technical and innovative practices. We have a lot of really great, amazing stories to tell. And what we're going to do is really kind of hone in on the 4 pillars of the school: safety, student achievement, personalized education, partnerships, by telling personalized stories that showcase our dedication to the whole child. So over the next several months, our team's going to put together a short magazine that'll cover kind of those highlights. It's a elevator pitch, an appetizer to make people say, whoa, like, oh, that's really cool. Where do I learn more? And a lot of people would say, like, well, who's the audience? And I would say, yes. So it's employees, it's parents, it's students, it's our Springdale family. And so the idea is you take the magazine and you couple it with what we're calling like a digital welcome center. So we're going to take the explore part. Dr. Marcia Smith has done some brilliant work on this concept of people and how they enter into our district. So we're going to take some of that concepts that she's built and the ideas, and we're going to put them on our explore page. So when we believe that when you couple the magazine that can be in real estates or in and out through the community or whatever, and then that brings you into our digital world, where then we can kind of show you a little more depth. I just think we're going to really be able to have an intentional plan to put Springdale in the circles where we need to be for people to understand the great work that we're doing.
Questions?
Oh, and I'm going to have fun doing it.
Is it part, if what he's talked about, is it part of your thinking that you've had over time, that our communication with me especially, of getting the word out, making sure that we have really good information for people to be able to choose Springdale should they want to?
I think just focusing too on the opportunities. I mean, I think that's one of the best parts about Springdale, and what my particular students have said about coming back. They would tell anyone they came in contact with that they had more opportunities at going to school in Springdale, Arkansas, than any of their friends from anywhere in the country. And they'll sit there and name them all. And awesome. They had chances to get to do, be, whatever, try. And I think that the more we can tell people about the opportunities that their children can have inside Springdale schools, the more excited we can get them.
Yeah, I kept coming back to this. We have all heard the phrase, work, play, live. Heard that. But I added learn onto that as well, because it is all of us doing it together. So it really is like work, play, live, learn, community schools with incredible opportunities. So I'm really excited to bring the concept into something you guys can touch, and we can go through it together and work through the language, and we'll just keep growing it together. And so I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, I mean, I think the tradition of excellence obviously has been something that Springdale has always been known for, even going back 40 years ago. There's always been something unique about Springdale, just in general, and it's really big picture, is that everybody has a really common set of what they think about Springdale and the values and the diversity and the inclusiveness and the things that go around what all that means from business and diversity in the business and how you have to get there to be all those things. A school really defines how that community thrives and perception and the reality of perception. So, yeah, that makes sense the way you teed it up. It's been going on for a long time, and I think we have the tools now to
Now's the
be
time.
really loud about it because we've got technology and print, really smart people in our district that can help get that message out.
Dr. Cleveland said something to me back in July when we were going through all this, and it wasn't even really the point of the conversation, but it really stuck with me all year. The school is the heartbeat of the community. That has stuck with me all year in almost everything that we do, and I really like what you just said right there. That's what I personalized, was that the school is the heartbeat of the community. And so I'm really excited to be able to go up there and show that excellence and start pushing on that. So anyway, thank you. I appreciate the time. Thank you.
And everybody here needs to know that it's your birthday.
Oh, don't you do
won't-
that. Don't do
I mean,
that.
I wanted to make everybody sing and even like bring a hat, that whole, but I won't do that, but happy birthday.
Thank you. When somebody said today, they said, "What are you doing for your birthday?" I said, "Well, the Springdale schools threw me a board meeting." But I really appreciate it. This is wonderful.
You've been working hard all
was very-
day from the park to here and everything in between, and so
Thank
you for serving so well on your birthday.
Thank
We
you. I appreciate y'all. It's my honor. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Sheriff. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the feedback, and that's a continual project that we'll be coming back for your input every step. So thank you so much. Curriculum Instruction Innovation. Our team tonight is on the way to Little Rock. They have an early morning meeting and told them they should go and they should try to be safe as they can to get there and prepare for tomorrow. But they did provide us the summer school information. It's in your agenda. I know that it's a 50,000 feet look at it, but we have our CLIP grant for summer school that starts June 7th. We'll go from July the 1st from 9 to 11:30 for our elementary kids. We're targeting about 300 students. Our summer school opportunity is called READ. It's full stream ahead, and it's Read, Enjoy, and Discover. It's our READ camp from July 5th through August the 6th, and it'll be from 10 to transportation, food service, all of those things are in there. You can see on slide 4, excuse me, our elementary summer school sites. We also have middle school and high school. The middle school program really is based on student need. So if you're 6th or 7th grade, those are our targets. It doesn't matter if you're 6th or 7th, you're in the area of focus that we need to focus on. Then we have our high school program as well. Our high school program, excuse me, 8th through 12th focus is June 3rd through June 24th from 8 to 4. And again, we'll have transportation and food service as well. Any questions or conversation about the summer school program? If you do have and you need more detail, we'll be happy to have one with the CNI team.
They talked today when I had a conversation with Shannon about that our junior high school program had over 1,100 students. Was that the number I got right? And it just, to watch their face that they were very excited about what the summer holds and how it's not your typical summer school program. And that if you have a chance, stop by Central or one of the other schools that are hosting the middle or upper grades and just walk around and see what exactly they have to offer. And I think you'll be really as excited as they were in telling us about it.
Yeah, it's not summer school as in your mind or your perception of what summer school used to be, where you were set there and you were forced to do it and you had to do it. This is an opportunity to really focus on our needs, personalized needs, and to try to help kids bring forward their excellence. Look, thank you, Ms. Cook. I do know that they really wanted to address the idea that the board be there. So, we also had the I2 Innovation Institute, which happened last week. It was a great opportunity to have a national conversation where we had some really cool people. Giuliani was there and some others. Can you go to the next slide? I think it has well, it doesn't. I had a picture of, there they are, who all participated nationally. Of course, we have Joel Ledoux as a featured speaker. We were really proud of the work. It's born from Springdale, and now it's gone to the national level. So it was a great opportunity. And our CNI team did that. Your CNI team did that. They are remarkable people who really want to grow and learn and to share what's happening in Springdale. And also, I call it cross-pollination. Take people who also know some things and collaborate together. So it was a great time, and I was glad to help open that up. Next, Ms. Cook, we'd like for you to talk about graduation. I know that we had 9 opportunities, Ms. Creek, remember? We spent all those days together to just talk about what you experienced, and hopefully next year we'll
Well, Board, y'all jump in at any time. I know that most of you know that we had 9 different graduations. It was a marathon of a weekend for everybody involved, from the administrations at each of our schools, for the students, for us, and for the district administration, the district team. I will say, as long and crazy of a weekend it was, I thought it was pretty amazing. My favorite part about it was the student speakers. I've tried to encourage the administrators that I've talked to that, if possible, can we just get away from bringing in speakers and concentrate on our student speakers? Each speaker we had, all 9 of those, was amazing in their own right. They had us laughing. They had us, as a parent, tearing up just a bit. They had us looking back through their whole year, and they had a pretty intense year because of COVID. And so to hear from them and to let their peers hear from them, I just think really made it special. I think watching the soccer game and the baseball games in between, and we were fed amazing. I guarantee we probably didn't eat again for a couple of days. But it was as exciting as ever being on the stage to see the kids in the audience, even though we had masks on, even though they had masks on, to see their excitement, to see their parents' excitement, to hear the claps and the shouts of joy. I was thankful we could be there. Not everybody across the country got that opportunity, even to have it in such a small setting. And I'm grateful and thankful to all those that planned it, that put the time, the hours into it to make sure that our students and their families got that opportunity. That's probably a lot more information than you wanted, but it was a great weekend.
I thought it was too. Any other things?
Good summary.
I can add to that.
Well, that concludes my portion of this. So,
We've gotten you like a COVID crown or something.
A cape, perhaps, would have been appropriate.
COVID super.
we put a C on it.
Is this your last report?
Yes, so I will be brief. I anticipate that this will be the last time you hear a report on COVID-19. I did want to complete the school year. You remember we started reporting at the beginning of the school year, which made a lot of sense. These were the numbers between May 10th and May 27th, very similar to the prior 2 months. And then I did a final cumulative slide from the beginning of school year to the end of the school year. One thing I just want to say publicly, and I know we've thanked these people, but all of these numbers, they're people and there are phone calls that had to be made and lives that were disruptive temporarily. And so thanking just our school community, particularly Kathy Launder and her staff. We pulled Monica Witchen and others from what they thought they were going to be doing this school year and put them full-time calling close contacts, talking to parents, working through kinks in the system. So I cannot thank them and Damon Donnell enough for making this process that was new to everybody work as best as it could. It may have been too much. It may have been not enough, I don't know, but we survived it, and that's because everybody worked together to get there. And so thank you for your support as well as we did this, and I hope that I never have to report on COVID again. Do you have any questions?
Just thankful.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Good job.
Good evening, Board. Dr. Cleveland. I have several items for you this evening. The first one, you'll notice that I did pull the May financials out of the consent agenda. Just wanted to make sure that everybody had seen that we did meet our property tax budget this month, which I can't remember when that has happened. I've talked to y'all about this so many times. Usually it's June and I'm holding my breath that we hit our budget, but this time it's been May. I've talked to y'all about this several times, but last year, because of the delay in tax bills that went out last spring, that has caused the pendulum to swing a little bit this year, and our collections are heavier than they normally would. I was conservative in my budgeting because I didn't know when they would go out this spring. They did go out earlier than they did last year, a little bit later than historically, but they still did make it out in the month of April. So that directly impacts how much we receive before June 30th. So I just wanted to visit with y'all about that briefly. I don't know how much our collections will be for this month. I haven't seen those yet. Historically, it's been around $3 million, so we're looking really good in terms of local revenue. As you probably noticed on our expenditure side, we're looking good there too. So just wanted to pull that out and just visit with y'all about that for just a moment. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
So we just need to vote on that.
Please.
Do I have a motion for the May financials? I have a motion by Mrs. Creek, a second by Mr. Owenby to approve the May 2021 financials as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
The next item that I have for you is a resolution, and it involves board members, so Ms. Creek is going to excuse herself. The first resolution is to ask the board to approve the district appointing Ms. Cindy Robinson as the 21 CCLC coordinator for Springdale High School. The 21 CCLC grant we've had for a number of years. Ms. Jean Davis has been in charge of that grant, and she is retiring at the end of June. Ms. Robinson has worked in the program for a number of years, and she's the most qualified. They interviewed several candidates. She feels she's the most qualified to take over these responsibilities. Because she is the sister of Ms. Creek, we have to receive board approval and disclose it at a public meeting, and then we will also have to receive approval from the Department of Education. So I'll be happy to try to answer any questions.
For clarification, she currently works for the district. It's a different position inside the district.
Thank you. Yes. The reason we're having to disclose is because if a relative of a board member that is employed by the district receives an increase of more than $2,500, we have to disclose. And this position would require an increase of more than $2,500.
Or do I have a motion concerning, due to the numbers that are here today, we need to break up these disclosure forms. So with this first disclosure, do I have a motion?
To accept this resolution.
Second.
There's a motion by Mr. Bell, a second by Mr. Owenby to accept the contract disclosure form concerning Cindy Robinson's becoming the 21 CCLC program director. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, we'll wait for Ms. Creek to rejoin us. Board, the second resolution that I want to present to you this evening for disclosure is the same scenario. This is involving Christina Curl. Miss Curl is the sister of Randy Hutchinson, who is a board member. She too works in the, or will be working in the 21 CCLC program, which is an after-school program, by the way. Ms. Curl is a teacher for the district. This is an after-school program that we received a grant for, and Ms. Curl will be a teacher in that program. We do anticipate the compensation for that to be over $2,500 for the year. As a result, we do need to disclose in an open board meeting, have board approval, and then we will submit to the department for approval. I don't know of an easier way to say this, so I'm just going to come out and say it. We don't have people standing in line to take these positions after they've taught all day. They're ready to go home in a lot of cases, and so we're having trouble finding people, and Ms. Curl is one of the ones that would like to participate in this, so we would like to offer that to our students.
Do you have a motion?
I'll move to accept this resolution.
And I'll second.
There's a motion to accept the contract and disclosure form for Miss Christina Curl to work in the 21CC program, 21 CCLC.
That's correct.
Program. All those in, a motion by Mr. Bell, a second by Mr. Owenby. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Well, this is 21 CC. That's why I was like, I can't get all that. Yes.
The next item that I have for you this evening, Board, is the compensation package that we have presented to the Personnel Policy Committee and now wish to present to the Board. As y'all know, last semester, the district was able to provide a bonus to our employees in the amount of $800. We bring forward at this time a second bonus in the amount of $1,000 to be paid in June for all of our employees. As y'all know, they have gone above and beyond this year with all the restrictions that have been placed due to the pandemic, and so we feel like this is appropriate for our employees at this time. In addition, we propose that the base of the certified salary schedule be increased by $500 beginning effective with next school year, which is the 21-22 school year. We did not raise the base of our certified salary schedule last year, and so it's been 2 years since we've increased the base, so that is also the recommendation. And at the same time, we would like to recommend that 1% be added to the classified salary schedules. That's commensurate with the $500 as compared to the certified salary schedule. And then finally, there are several policy changes that would need to be made or that we're proposing to be made. Specifically, and I think I've visited with you about this, we would like to restate our classified contracts to exclude holidays as a contract day. None of the other districts do this in our area, and it's just confusing when people are looking at our contracts compared to other districts. Specifically, let me give you an example. Bus drivers is the one I always go to. I don't know why. Our bus driver contracts say 188 days. They actually work 180, which is the amount of days that other districts work, and so it just eliminates a lot of confusion to eliminate the holidays listed as a contract day. The pay would not be reduced. We're just simply restating the days to mirror what they would be working rather than including the holidays. In addition, we have requested that the number of days on specifically, we're wanting to move away from the 262-day contract. No one else has that. It's confusing to people when they look at our contracts as to the number of days. They misinterpret that we work substantially more, which we do, but they're not really contract days. So we would like to restate those to be along the lines of other districts as well. You are having a puzzled look on your face. Is everybody following me here? Okay.
You're just hard to hear tonight.
Oh, I am. I'm sorry. I get a little nervous up here. Like everybody's looking at me. So, anyway, that's all before you've had a chance to review it. So, do you have any questions?
I do have a question. Do we need to make a clarification about the bonus that it does include, the clarification on the substitutes?
Okay.
I mean, I just didn't know if that needed to go into the record.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate you bringing that up. The proposal for substitutes is that they receive $250 if they've subbed at least 30 days prior to May 1st, and they received an April payment.
So the bonus is going to all full-time employees.
Yes.
And our substitutes.
Yes.
And the money is coming from ESSER funds.
Well, no.
Or how are we?
Right.
I'm trying
Right.
to read, I just want
Right.
that it's in, so that we have it in.
Yes, yes. Because we have ESSER funds, we are able to reclassify some of our salaries for the teachers that have worked in the virtual program this year. And by reclassifying those salaries, then we're able to pass along this bonus.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Sure.
I just wanted to make sure
Sure.
that we had it all out there. Do you want us to make 3 different?
No, I think just one's fine.
So list all topics or just?
You get to see the proposed compensation package.
I make a motion that we accept the proposed compensation package as presented.
I like it and second it.
There's a motion by Mrs. Creek, a second by Mr. Owenby to accept the compensation package as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Did that include the policy changes? Or do we-
Yes. No, it did. It did.
Okay.
Yeah.
It did.
Yes. Right. Okay. I'll try to talk a little louder and introduce Mr. White to give you a construction update. I'm sorry, I do get nervous. After all these years, I still get nervous.
Well, it's because we're trying to catch you in a mistake.
Thank you. Okay, you're the one that should be nervous right now.
Yeah, I'm always nervous.
Because we're going to start grilling you on roll.
I know. So I added a few more pictures on Rollins this time. So this is in Area B. So it's the downstairs multi-use labs looking up to the upstairs. This is actually in Area B also. So they're actually putting sheetrock in Area B. So here is Area A downstairs. So they've got sheetrock, mud, and tape on it. So it's coming along good. They've got the temporary HVAC up and running upstairs.
Is it not up yet? I mean, is it not in yet still?
No, the permanent units are not functional yet. So they brought in temporary units, and it's running. So Area A is conditioned. So they've painted a lot of the upstairs in Area A. So it's getting ready. They're going to start doing mill work and stuff pretty quick. So it's going to come together pretty quickly. This is the kitchen. So they got some kitchen equipment actually starting to go in. This is the outside of the kitchen. This is the gymnasium. So it's coming together. They're still putting a lot of the units in through that center part. So they won't close it up till they get all the units upstairs. This is just a different view of the gym, which it actually, they were supposed to put windows in this week. These were all taken on Monday. They're the learning stairs in Area B. So also at Rollins, they're putting the finished dirt in on the south side of the building. So they're moving forward with all that. They're getting ready to lay the temporary asphalt down on the north side. So
Would we be able to visit in, I'd give them June, but in July sometime?
sure, yeah, we can get in anytime you guys want to, and if you all can't make it, I can make multiple trips. I took Sissy Lindley out yesterday, and we walked it. So they're making a lot of progress daily.
So you're referring to areas A and B. How many areas do we have going out there?
So there's 4 areas. The main areas really are A and C. That's your academic hallways. Your west halls are A, east are C. So they'll finish A first.
So you'll expect at least those 2 areas to be ready come
Yep.
time for school.
Yeah, areas A, B, and then parts of D
Okay.
should be ready.
So we'll be able to have school in theory.
They will be ready.
So do we still have like long lead times? Was it cafeteria stuff?
They should be delivered in time. They're having issues with other construction material, just depends on the week. Yeah, last week it was sheetrock mud. They couldn't get
Is this
it.
stuff stuck in somewhere in America, or is it like in the Suez Canal, or where, I mean, where's this stuff at?
They're just,
1.3 million jobs open now, that's what I love.
yeah, I mean, they can't get it from the manufacturer.
Okay, gotcha.
So, but they're making good progress. So, the child nutrition building, these were taken Monday morning, and we actually moved Gina in Monday afternoon, so they'll finish moving her in tomorrow. So the brick's complete. We do have to get the signage and everything up. That's the inside of the work area in the back. This is their main office area. That's the hallways going into their conference room. That's their kitchen. That's where the free and reduced entrance is. And then back to their office. And
What Jeremy won't say, I will, I'll brag on him. He and his team did all of that.
Yeah.
All of that in-house. So they're an amazing bunch of people that are extremely talented. And they've done some heavy lifts. Saved the district literally thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
it's turned out really good. Gina is real happy with it.
It looks great.
So we should have everything out of Washington by tomorrow afternoon. So this is the treehouse pantry. So we had to tear out the south wall and rebuild it. It was all rock, native stone rock, and so we've got that taken care of. All the inside, we had to cut out the floor, put in new plumbing, new sewer. All that's completed. The interior walls are all built, framed up. All the infrastructure for the heating and air is up. Insulation went in last week. So we're getting ready to do the wall insulation and the sheetrock, and as soon as that's completed, this one will start moving pretty quick. Also, I know Damon and Sarah are supposed to pick out all the paint colors and everything tomorrow, because in another week we're going to be ready to put some paint on. And that is all of the photos that I brought.
The back part, is that where, when we get the freezers?
The freezer, actually, we're having to work with the city of Springdale. When that grant goes through, we're going to actually put it on the east side of the property, away from the building, because there's actually a street right in the middle of that property, so we can't really build anything permanent right there. The city of Springdale is trying to rezone it, but the freezer makes more sense on that east side to allow semis to get in. We can unload. I've got the forklift and the dock. Everything's here. It's all at my shop. As soon as we get to a point, then I'll take it all over. But they'll be able to unload semis, put it in the freezer. And then there'll be reach-in freezers inside, actually on this wall that you're looking at. There'll be several reach-ins, so they can go get a pallet of whatever protein, bring it in, stock it in those reach-in coolers and freezers. That way, whenever they have volunteers or whoever boxing or bagging the orders, they can do it all out of this building.
It's incredible.
So, in another month, we should be pretty much done with this. So we have a lot of exterior work to do once we get the inside done. And then I think Damon's working on the logos. That's going to help pick our interior colors, and then we'll add the logos and the signage on this.
Sounds good.
Great for children and families.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay.
Ms. Cook, I got a text message from Ms. Tucker that said she's not able to be here tonight from SEA.
Okay, now is the time for patron comments. If I have any, if you'll just come to the front and state your name and and just understand that while we can listen, we cannot act on anything today.
My name's Tom Mulcahy. I was here before and talked about the COVID. It was great to hear.
She's over in that corner.
There she is. The presentation on that. It's nice to know the numbers because that's it's not easily found. One of the struggles that we have from the outside is if we don't come here and talk to you, we don't know what's going on. We don't listen. We can go online, we can read, but we can only get so much. So thank you for sharing that. It's good. There's a couple things that I don't have your position on. I'm trying to understand this. I don't know if you can answer me or it's going to something that comes up later. You'll tell me how to respond to that. First thing is the masks. I was here, we talked about masks, and you guys were setting a plan to eliminate them, I think, for the summer. Are masks as a requirement gone?
Yes.
Thank you. Because I just didn't hear the final, so that was good news.
The mask mandate ended
Last day of school.
May 20th.
Because I know there was an extension about having a couple time periods about in between summer school or something weird. Good. Thank you. Next question would be is when it comes to the vaccination or the COVID shot, is there any requirement? Because I know there's a lot of people thinking it should be required, it shouldn't be required. Is there opinion for the school board? Thank you.
I think that's personal choice.
Personal choice. Okay. That's something that if it's it's a big topic. So if it comes out to be mandatory or highly suggestive, that becomes something I think we need to know about it.
Right.
Okay.
Should we get anything down from the state, then we'll just have to address that as
Okay.
it is.
So that's the end of my COVID questions.
Great.
Two more questions, I think more curricula or training personnel thing. Critical race theory is something that is abounding in the world. We know there's a lot of theories on how to, treat people well, be nice to people. I think we all have been told by our mom, be nice, manners goes a long way. So is there any plan to institute any kind of mandated critical race theory? And I use that terminology specifically because it is a brand, I guess you want to call it.
I think my answer would be we follow the state curriculum. Of course, the district itself, we also have a curriculum we follow. But at this time, we're very comfortable with our national leading curriculum that we provide. And so at this point, we would obviously study anything that's out, but we have no plans to deviate from our current.
Thank you. I appreciate that because there's a lot of, I don't know. The governor signed something a couple weeks ago that said no governmental organization can mandate critical race theory training, but the schools were not included. So that's why I asked. Thank you. And the last one would be is there's another sex education. It's comprehensive sexuality education. It's tied to the UN. It is a brand as well, and it's not just teaching stuff. It is a program. When you buy, it's pretty significant. If you guys have not heard about it, I would educate yourselves. Washington, Oregon, states, California, it's present in Texas, it's present in Illinois and Georgia. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for children. It starts at kindergarten, and if you ever get a hold of the curriculum, you'll recognize it's, if I were to read the curriculum for kindergartners, you guys would blush. I would be upset to have to read it. So it's important to know that it's not coming and that you guys would be aware, so if it does get presented, you guys can know right away what it is. So that's just a thought. I don't believe that's here, I assume.
Have not heard of it. I'm aware of.
But I would ask you guys to think about that as far as preparing, because if you don't know it's coming, there's groups that are chasing the world. So, thank you.
Thank you for your time. Sorry.
Hi. My name's Elizabeth Carpenter. Lives in Springdale also. I could not hear everything that you guys said, so I might ask you a little bit of the same question. I did hear that there's no masking. Have you guys heard from the Arkansas Department of Health? Is anything, or they let you go, what was it, middle of April, and you haven't heard anything? Okay. And so you all are not talking about masking, like say the Arkansas Department of Health says we recommend masking in the fall. You guys aren't having conversations. There's no preparation. You're just going to do this on the fly when that happens. Is that kind of the plan? Okay, good. In doing so, I want to give you more articles. I was here last time. I got you some articles. I hope you read them. Sometimes they're difficult. These are very easy. You don't have to read like all the inside, the abstract and the conclusion actually, and then this one's really easy to read. But there's some good information. One of these is from the CDC a year ago about personal protective measures not working, but they're not going to tell you that. This is for the flu. So we can think of COVID as kind of a flu on steroids. It's a respiratory virus. So I think you can make correlations. And then this just came out from the University of Louisville in Kentucky about 2 weeks ago. So they're actually studying COVID and studying all of the data around it. So this is pertinent information, I think. I encourage you to read this. The most important thing I think that we need to be aware of is what it's doing to our children. You're asking these kids to use masks for more than 4 hours. They're in school, 7? So I know they have mask breaks. I am aware of that. But you're seeing facial alkalinization, which encourages dehydration, barrier breakdown and susceptibility to bacterial infection, increased headaches, sweating, and a decrease in cognitive precision. I'm not going to read the whole thing, I promise. Also a decrease ability with social learning just because you have masks. So I just want to encourage you to read these and consider them if something does come up in the future. As well as when I was here in April, you guys continued the mask mandate, I thought mostly out of fear. And maybe not your fear, but out of the students' fear and their parents. What is Springdale School District doing to combat that? Because I don't know what's going to change in 2 months. A lot of the same people that were fearful in April are going to be fearful in August, September. Are we doing something? You had a wonderful campaign to end the school year strong and get to school. Are you doing anything? Because, I mean, you're the voice of the school.
We are. If it's okay.
It is. I mean, my point in it is we don't have a mask mandate. So yes, we are doing something.
Right. I agree.
So, I mean, that's kind of a silly question in my point on that.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to have parents that are still scared. They were still scared in the year. They lost, people died in their families. So we needed to respect that. We are giving them options as far as online learning. We're giving them the option to wear a mask within the schools. I'm not going to tell another student that they can't wear a mask, but we're not going to make everyone wear them.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of education out there. Because I'm not a physician and because I don't believe that, and none of the board is, I don't believe that it's our job as a board. The district, on the other hand,
there are always social and emotional concerns.
Right.
COVID situation has created a lot of fear in a lot of people for a lot of reasons. Even my own father who had it, and I was fearful he would pass away. Thankfully, he didn't. But there are some children who had some family members who did, regardless of circumstance or anything else. So there are aspects of this whole thing that will be lasting for kids. And so our effort with our social workers and with our counselors and with our teachers and with all of our community family, we're working to really try to help provide support for our kids. Not only through our school-based health centers, through behavioral health and mental health, but also in like the Treehouse Pantry to provide food and clothing, all of those additional things that you do for your kids and that you do, I'm sure, for your community as well. We have a lot of work to do, and it takes a lot of partnership to get that done. So thankfully we're in Springdale, and we have great community partners like you and others who might have different ideas about politics and decisions and all, but can come together to support kids in a great way. I know that's what you do.
Right, and I'm not making this political at all. These are amendments. These are like First Amendment, Second Amendment rights of being able, so I'm not trying to make this political at all. I just think that we need to look at the science and making, okay, and I just want to make sure we're looking at the science when we're making decisions. And I know we're not under a mask mandate.
Well, I mean, and I know that you think, I think y'all are under the assumption that we haven't researched anything and that we haven't done, I know individually we all have, that we do look at the articles that you've suggested and other articles. No decision that any of us have made is made lightly. But we have to make it from the standpoint of 23,000 kids.
Right, I understand that.
And so just because, and so we just have to understand that. I am more than happy, and the rest of the board is more than happy to see any information that you have to give us.
Mm-hmm. Right, and I don't think you don't educate yourself. So I think you do, but I want this on record. That's really why I'm here. I want this on record, and I want to hear you say that we're not having a mask mandate. Or, I mean, you're not, I know you've already said that. So, okay. Well, in saying that, then I want to give you these articles. And then I just want to piggyback off of what the gentleman said about vaccinations. I would just remind you that it's not a vaccine. It's an emergency use medication. It's not, hasn't gone through all the vaccine protocols that are needed to be called a vaccine. Hasn't seen any retrospective studies. So asking people to inject this into their children or into them is asking a lot. So I will just piggyback off of that. So.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Great, thank you.
Thanks for highlighting. That always helps me. We appreciate it. Anyone else before I? Nope. Okay. With that, we adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you.